It's really great. Yeah, legitimate. It's always a great pleasure to speak here and to talk about Spiritism for you guys. And I appreciate the opportunity that is given to me, especially this special night. And so there are many laws, natural laws, there are many divine laws as well that affect us in many ways. They are very important. It's very important for us to know how they work and how they affect us, because that helps us to get a better life and to make the best of them. One of them is like the gravity law. Everybody knows it. I don't have to explain. The magnetism. So it's there's a lot of equipment that work based on magnetism laws. And there are also some laws that are not so evident. We cannot see them at work. For instance, we have like the Spiritism tells us about the law of action and reaction. This is one of those. It's a very important law. It affects our lives quite a bit. And we cannot see it. Like many people in the world, they don't know about them. They don't know that they exist or how they work. There are also the moral laws. We had the speech last month from Fernanda. She talked about the moral laws. They are also very important. They affect us. Many people don't know anything about them, but we Spiritists know. And we have also the principles of affinity and resonance, and they are very important. They affect our lives quite a bit, and many people don't know about them. Most of the people have like some, maybe they think there is something there, but the Spiritists know about them, how they work, how they affect our lives. And it's very important. So my proposal, my suggestion for tonight is to invite you guys to dig in a little bit on this affinity and resonance principles and see how they work. Let's talk a lot about how they work, how they affect us, how they affect our lives. Knowing them, we can make maybe better lives for ourselves right now. We can take advantage of them. We can like do better, have a better. Let's use our reincarnation a better way, this life to grow, so that we can evolve as much as we can. So this is very useful information. And so first let's talk about waves. So I'm going to talk a little bit about physics, but I promise it's not going to be a lot. It's a topic I like it, so I like it. Most of the people don't like it, so I'm going to talk just a little bit, the minimum necessary. So waves. We have to talk about waves. What are waves? Waves are like a vibration. It's like we have electromagnetic waves that they are used for radio, for TV, for cell phones. All these things, they go to the air and they get into our radio or TV or cell phone, and they are going to make it work. The waves, they are like they have some essential characteristics. They're repetitive and they have a frequency. And here I show you a lot of different waves in terms of frequency. And this is the lowest frequency because, it means she goes more slowly up and down, like this, right? And then I have a little bit higher frequency because she goes a little bit faster than the former one, and then the third one a little bit even faster. This one, the last one, is going very fast. It's going like this. Like the first one is going very slow. The first one is going very fast. So this is the lowest frequency. This is the highest frequency. Okay, that's all we need to know. That's good, right? Right. So let's now we go back to our lives. Let's say we have a radio in our car, and we want to listen to the country music. So we go to, let's say, to the 18, so we tune in the radio, And let's say you go to the 80 megahertz FM, right? So that's our lowest frequency. So I'm going to tune in on this frequency here. Let's say this is the 80 megahertz. So I have the fact that we are tuning in. I want to get to the country music radio, and I tune in. That's affinity. I have affinity with the country music radio. That's what I want to get. That's my interest right now. I want to listen to it. That's affinity. So as soon as I tune in my radio to the 80 megahertz radio, then the resonance is going to kick in. So my radio is going to be resonance with this station, and then I'm going to start listening to that music. So now my mood changed. I want to go to pop music. So I go to this. This is the pop music station. It's 100 megahertz. So again, I go again to my radio. I want to listen. That's my interest, pop music. So I go to 100 megahertz, and then my affinity is on pop music. So I tune in. Then the resonance kicks in. Then I start listening. My radio starts to work. It enters in resonance with 100 megahertz. And then I start listening to it. That's how a radio works.
The top one must be disco.
It's the nice frequency.
Oh, look at that. Okay. Did it turn off?
Out of resonance.
Yes.
It's my
And too sweet.
okay, that's it. So the last one is disco, then Saturday night. Let's go. Yes, I'm as well. Now the Spiritists, they told us, guys, every spirit works kind of like a radio. So we vibrate in some frequency. Every one of us has a frequency that we vibrate on. And they taught us that we have lower frequency when we are like sad or we have some negative feelings. Our frequency lowers a little bit. And when we are in peace or when we pray, when we have some happy thoughts and things like that, our frequency goes up a little bit. So we have this law that was created by God, where we can vary our frequency a little bit. Depends on our feelings, depends on our thoughts. And show you a little bit more. So what I want to show here is like this is happy as purpose, right? So you're there with a picnic basket for those who watch this cartoon. That's what all he wants, right? He's always looking for picnic basket. So he's really happy right now. So let's say this is the highest happiness that someone can have on earth. That's revealed by this right here. Then, I don't know if everyone knows this is heart. Yes. So this guy is a very negative. Always complaining, always saying, "Oh, this is not gonna work." So this guy is really the lowest frequency. So if I'm really down, then I'm going to go in hard frequency. And he didn't me, I'm right in the middle of it.
You're very happy. Yeah. It should be on the top.
Yeah. So I'm really here in the middle. So if I am happy, like you're very happy, I go this way. Maybe I'm going to get to this frequency and that one. They're infinite frequencies, so I'm going to go that way. If I'm down, something happened, like I lost my picnic basket, then I'm down. Right, that's my frequency going to be like this. Another thing the Spiritists teach us is the following, like our minds has a plug that's going to be always connected to something. We are going to be always connected to one frequency. We cannot unplug this. We have no control about that. So at all times we are going to be, our mind is going to be connected to some, it's going to be vibrating in some frequency. The only thing we can control is that we can think, we can work on our thoughts and feelings to get them up. We can do that, or we can let them go down as well. So we have control over which frequency, a little bit of control of which frequency we're going to be resonating. Another the spirits teach us is that once you are in a frequency, our small we have this rate in our minds which can, it's not like a normal radio. Instead of only receiving, it can transmit as well. So every time we are in a frequency, we are also transmitting and we are receiving. We are in connection to anyone that is on this frequency. Everyone that is thinking, is doing some thoughts on that frequency, we are going to be affected by it. And we are going to affect these people as well. So let's say there is another guy here in the same frequency as me. Everything that I'm thinking, the vibration, because we are in the same vibration, we are in the same affinity, and then the resonance law is going to make us communicate something. So our thoughts are going to be exchanged. That's what the Spiritist teaches. So, what this means? That means that we have to, if you are like on these lower frequencies, that's a bad thing, because if I go to hard, then his thoughts are going to be influenced by my thoughts as well. They're going to be exchanging thoughts. Even though sometimes what I'm going to do, the way it works is like his thought are going to be resonating in my mind. I'm going to think it's like a little voice talking to me and saying like, oh dear, or more mind. So it's saying bad things for me. But I want to start to think these thoughts as well. And if I go up, that's a good thing, like, because I want to be connected to the better spirits, the people that has better intentions, and they want to help me out to do good things for my life. So I have some slides with some articles I found about this subject. First one I found is Andrea Lito Chico. Says exactly what I just said. We are all mediums inside our own field of attraction, connecting to healthy energies when our thought flows in the direction of superior life, or to disturbing the present forces when we enslave ourselves to the shadows of primitive and tortured life. So it's saying that we are all mediums. This is important. Like, we are always connected to a frequency. We have no control over it. Our minds are always vibrating some frequency. We are going to be sending and transmitting and receiving thoughts on that frequency. Inside our own field of attraction, that's the frequency we are in. Connecting to healthy energies when our thought flows in the direction of superior life. So this is what we want. We want to have thoughts that drives us to superior life. Because then we are going to be connected to healthy energies. We're going to be receiving good things. It's going to bring me up. It's going to get me helping my evolution. Another thing is that every being with the feelings created by his intimate personality irradiates specific energy and lives the spiritual waves with what he identifies. Saying the important here is like with the feelings created by his intimate personality. So the feelings and thoughts that we are going to vibrate are the ones inside of us, our intimate personality. It's not the personality that we show. It's not the personality that people see us. It's not the exterior, but it's what's inside of us. We're going to vibrate with what's in our hearts and minds. So there is no faking, right? That's it. We have to be whatever we are, then we are going to vibrate on that frequency. So there are many questions we have to make ourselves. So what I'm feeding my mind with? What's my climate, spiritual climate, my spiritual environment? How do I influence the people next to me? That's also, now that we know it, sorry guys, more responsibility. right? Now that we know that we affect other people, we have now the responsibility of trying to affect other people in a good way, trying to get our thoughts the best possible. If I have, like, for instance, resentment, then I'm going to affect people in a bad way, right? Because even though I don't show, nobody is seeing it, they are feeling it. They're feeling the resentment, the bad energy that I'm carrying. Let's talk a little bit about ways that we are affected by the environment. One way that affects us is the media. What we watch, what we read, the environment that we are feeding from, right? What is going, what we are letting inside of my mind. There are like many like networks, news networks, and we can see that many of them they have mostly bad news, like or sensational news, stuff that try to attract people. You can see that there is not one network that has like good news. Not that I know of. It's not because the TV networks are bad people. It's because if they do it, nobody's going to watch them. So they do it because people, lots of people are attracted to it. Still have this. Lots of people have affinity with this kind of things. Some time ago it's a story about myself now. Like last year we had an election in the US, and I'm very drawn to I have a lot of affinity with politics. I like it. And, so I had my car, I put like some satellite radio, so I put listen when I was driving work. I could listen to CNN, I could listen to Fox News, I could listen to MSNBC, all this stuff. And something I enjoyed. So I started driving and listening like maybe 3 hours a day, every day. And after like at the end of the election, like 6 months later, I was feeling like really bad. I was feeling like, oh my God, there's all the parties are bad, and all the politicians, they don't want to so many problems, they just want to get reelected, and okay, this world has no hope anymore. And I was feeling bad, right? And then I explained that thing. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to do it anymore. Because I was feeling bad because of all this. I just stopped from that time on. I started I still I don't want to not read anything, not know what's going on, but I'm going to like a newspaper now because it's not as sensationalist. Sensationalist.
NPR.
Yeah, I have to write something that is lighter because or music or something.
Example has music too.
I like music. But just one example, I'm not saying don't watch the news is bad, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we have to be aware that those things influence whatever we have affinity to, then we are opening our minds to it. Right? We are opening it because of resonance. It's going to get in. So we have to be aware at all times that what we want to get inside of our minds is good quality stuff. It has to be good quality stuff. And in the media there is a lot of not so good quality stuff, so we have to be aware of it. Facebook, for instance, it's a very good thing. If well used, it's pretty good. But there's a lot of bad stuff. Like if you look around, there's a lot of bad stuff. So we have to filter, we have to know what we are reading and we are looking for. Even like if Kardec was alive today, I guess he would have a Facebook account, he would use it, he would do everything to develop the experience. So it is a good thing. But you just have to know how to use it, right? And so on for all the media. So like movies, let's watch violent movies, horror movies and stuff like this. You have to be aware. I'm going to watch it, yes, but that's going to get inside of me. So how it's going to affect video games for kids, especially how it's going to affect the kids. So just be aware. I'm not saying don't do this or do that. Just asking you guys to be aware how it affects us, because we are opening doors for that thing to get inside of us, and we want everything that gets inside of us to be good quality. That's what we want, right? The only is one of the first Spiritist writers. He wrote a book in like 150 years ago. He was talking about this. He was talking about so 150 years ago, the only media stuff was the newspaper. He was talking, guys, newspaper is not a good thing, like what's going on, but it's see, like what's going on is that, okay, I'm reading a lot of, I'm using my words to explain this message. He wrote a lot about that. But it's why, like, we are reading a lot of small news, and it's just like everything gets in our mind, and it's going to make my mind less stable, because, and all the news are very like short, so they won't go profound enough. So he said we should like, but he said something like don't, I'm not saying don't do it, but do it with moderation. Take care, like be aware of the consequences of this kind of stuff. Gosh. He said like we should like use more books and like stay in one subject for a longer time, and it's a more profound knowledge. Something that's going to get you a more stable state of mind instead of like you just do small things of the newspaper. Another thing that he said, it's really important that we have to think about what we think. It's a very important. He gave a very good importance about thought. He was talking a lot about, guys, we need to think about what we think about. We have to do it. What's going on in our minds? What's we are getting inside? What we are thinking all the time? Because it's very, very important. Right. Now let's talk a little bit about, so it was media, we talked about how media influences and how people influence people. Especially in our homes. Like, in our homes, we have to always offer the best we have for them. So we have to take care of our minds, we have to take care of our thoughts, our vibration, to offer what we have the best to offer. We don't want to have like a bad vibration that's going to make it easier for other people in our home to show the effects. We want to make good vibrations because then they are going to be showing us what they have, the best they have. So we want to get a good vibration in our homes. Same thing for our work environment, right? Same thing with friends. So every time we are like here, we are in Affinity right now. Everybody came to this room to watch this speech, right? And we have like the resonance because we're communicating right now. And this happens in every situation, like all the time. So we are together with someone, we are talking, and the people are responding to our speech, to our body language, to our vibration. People are feeling everything. We are feeling mostly the voice, but everything is communication, right? And if you have like a bad vibration, it's people are going to people are going to respond to it. If I go like just change another slide. Let's show another message. This is from Emmanuel and Chico. Nobody is alone. So what means nobody is alone is like we are never alone. So we have, like I said, a plug in our minds that's always connected to something. We are never alone. There always is some frequency and connect to some frequency. And someone is on the same frequency and they are working talking to us. Like we talk. Every being receives in accordance to what he gives. So what we give gives me, gets me to that frequency. Every soul lives in the spiritual environment he elected and seeks the type of experiences that leads to his idea of happiness. So we choose the spiritual environment we are gonna live, and important is it leads to his idea of happiness. So if my idea of happiness is more material things, that's where my mind's gonna be. So my vibration is gonna go in this area. And we know the Spiritists, they say to us that material things are necessary, but they cannot be like the first thing in our lives. They have to be down. We have to give the right priority to things. And but if I think my happiness is in material things, then that's where I'm gonna be vibrating, and all the influence are gonna come from this area. If, on the other hand, if my idea of happiness is more my evolution, my spiritual improvement, then that's where I'm going to be vibrating. So whatever I think is important, that's where my thinking is. Another, so I talked about how the media affects us and how we have the people, how it affects between incarnated people. And there is also an influence between us and the disincarnated spirits, right, that are not in the material world anymore. And the Book of the Spirits, we have a question from Kardec that's asked the following: do the spirits influence our thoughts and actions? And the response is, on that matter, their influence is much greater than you think. Many times they drive your thoughts and actions. So how it works, according to the Book of the Spirits, every time we are in sync, in resonance with some spirit, is going to say something, and that's going to resonate in our head. So we're going to receive it as if it was one idea from our minds. Then we are free to accept the idea or to reject it. We can do it at any time. But they are going to be, they have an open channel to our minds. They can talk to us. We are going to listen to them. If the spirit is a good spirit, then that can be a really good thing. Like in Lessons for Happiness from Joana de Angelis, she gives us 3 examples of how a good spirit can help us when we are connected to a good spirit. So let's say I am like a good spirit. I have like if I have like they already know that Marcelo is interested to get in a better situation in life. He wants to evolve and stuff. Then I get someone that's really trying to help me out. A good spirit is trying to help me out. If for my evolution I need to meet someone, let's say I have to, the good spirit, they have a plan for my evolution, and then this plan I have to meet someone, know someone, and then we're going to do something together. So what they do, they try to talk to me, they try to get to know my mind and talk to me and say for me to go to some place at some time. And then they're going to do the same thing to that person. And then we are going to end up meeting, and then, so in this way they help us to meet and to do something for our improvement later on. Or another thing that can happen is like if I have some new plan for, let's say, to charity or something, and they can give us some ideas on how to do it. So sometimes I don't see how I'm going to make it happen, and they can like talk to me and give very good ideas because they are very intelligent. Or more than, if they are more evolved, they are more intelligent than me in this case. They can give me some very good ideas that I'm going to follow and who's going to make it happen. I have seen many times like people that receive some ideas that are really interesting, really very smart, very creative, and sometimes it could be from other spirits. Right? And, another way they do is like a very nice way. They just can show their love for us in ways that like they can do small things for us to make our lives nicer, to show our love for us, like give us idea of let's watch sunset, or maybe to inspire some kids of us to say something nice to us. So they can do that. It's really nice the way they can take care of us. They can try to make our lives nicer and nicer. So one more slide. This is one from Manuel and Chico. We are constantly assimilating the thoughts and energy of whoever we choose to be connected with. And in addition, we are always in contact with what we can refer to as generators of specific thoughts. So then other intelligence have a channel to our mind. So this is like generators of specific thoughts. Like I said, can be media, can be someone reincarnated that is in sync with me, is in resonance with me, is going to send the thoughts to me, and they have a channel to our mind, or a spirit as well. What we read, people we like, groups that we are part of, and all that we hear influence decisively on us. And we will always live in the company of the people and the environment we see, because in any place we are, our breath is adjusted to our field of attraction. So all the things that we are talking so far. And one more thing, like one more way that we can, this teaching of affinity and resonance can bring us some, so bring some discussion is our, let's talk about our inner thoughts, like things that we believe inside of us. For instance, and how this kind of thoughts affect our lives. So let's give one example. If I believe that I would have problems in my relationships, so maybe something happened in a former life with me that brought me to this belief, or maybe something happened in my childhood that brought me to this belief. Let's say that I firmly believe that I would have problems in relationships, that maybe I'm boring or something like that. And I think that most of us have some kind of thought that is like, unfortunately, that it's a negative thought that is inside of us. This is just one example. So what's going to happen if I firmly believe I have problems in relationships, and then I go on a date with some girl? This energy is going to come out, right? My date is going to feel it. I'm going to show it out in many ways. Like she's going to feel I'm insecure. She's going to feel my body language. She's going to feel many things, and she's going to feel the vibration as well. The vibration is going to go out and it's going to show it. And in this day, she's going to be like, she's going to feel, okay, it was not a good night. It was something was off. Something was. So this is going to, like I'm saying, we have an inner. Some people are like looking like, what is it? So if we have something that is really deep inside of us, it's a negative thought. This is going to affect our lives in many, many ways. Like people are going to respond to it. Other spirits are going to respond to it. The whole universe is going to respond to it. It's kind of going to make it happen. So this is what's going to happen. Like, it's very important that we get rid of this kind of negative thoughts. Because they affect many, many lives in a very negative way. And how we can do it? So, just let me give one more example. There's one person was writing about, I think I've read it somewhere. someone that was talking that when he was a kid, his parents taught him that money is a bad thing. That money is something that every person that has money is because it was not an honest person. This is what he learned when he was a kid. Then he grew up and he had this belief inside of him. And he became an adult, started to work, he opened a business, he was very intelligent, he was working hard and doing everything right, but money was not fun. He was doing everything right, and no money. And then he was like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? Until one day he figured out, okay, my thought says only dishonest people has money. So I'm working the way that I don't want money. So even though I'm doing everything right, I'm not getting money because people are responding to it. Every time I have a business transaction or something, people are responding in a way that they're not going to give you money. So the universe is working in a way that it's not going to give you money. Until he changes this belief, until he changes the belief, he cannot, that's going to be a big problem. I'm not saying this guy's going to be poor, but that's like a problem he has to solve. So he has to have the thoughts in alignment with the actions, everything is going to work in a better way, and he doesn't have it. And for this, we need to have like an inner transformation. We have to work on ourselves. We have to first detect that we have these negative thoughts. We have to figure out why do I have it, where in each situation, and then after we detect, we have to work hard to figure out where it came from, right? And after we figure out where it comes from, normally it's going to be an easier path to get rid of it. A good way is like using therapy. Therapy for those who can afford. It's not easy, but that's the way to go. We have like the fraternal counseling here in the Spiritist Center that can help. And many books. So that what we have to do is inner transformation. Working on the inner transformation. We have to know ourselves, and then we're going to be able to detect those things, those problems, those issues. Next year. Okay, here's one more. Even though you cannot yet perceive it, your soul expands in millions of particles, the agents of freedom or captivity created by your own mind. So it's like the same like the soul expands in millions of particles, like the same the vibration as if the vibration was particles that go expand, so they affect a big region of you around you. And these particles can be agents of freedom or captivity, depends on what you think. This is from the relationship. So when we get in touch with Spiritism, we learn that Spiritism is a different religion, a different science, a different philosophy. We learn that it's not enough anymore for us to follow what is expected from us, like follow some rites, go to a certain place at certain days, and say some prayers that are already ready for us, just repeat it. We learn that this is not enough for us to achieve salvation. Spiritism is a very difficult thing to follow, yet is in my opinion, is the right one. The only one that can make us achieve salvation, because it's a lot of hard work. We really have to work on ourselves to become as Jesus Christ was, and it's far away from us. We have a lot of work to do. And some people get scared about it. Some people just think, oh my God, this is too much for me. And they are going to look for some justifications for not doing the hard work. They're going to say, oh my God, I need to work to change, or that's the way I am, I'm not going to change anymore. And they're going to, we feel that the right way is the hard work, but we need to find justification for not doing it. In some cases, like, so we have two options: we either do it or look for justifications to not do it. So in this way, we kind of alleviate our conscience, because if we don't do it, we have to give some reason, we have to have a rationale for not doing it, so we can be alleviated. For instance, if I live in resentment, so I have to ask you why we do it, what's going to help me, how it's going to be, I'm going to profit from it, what's my purpose, staying in resentment. Like that old uncle that we meet in family reunions, and we start talking to him, and then we reach a point that, okay, I cannot touch this subject with him, because if I touch this subject, then he's going to start talking about the time in the 60s when I had this business partner, and he did something to me, like stole money from the company, and then I went in bankruptcy, and everything went south in my life since then. So he's going to remember for something that happened 50 years ago, and he's still carrying it into today. That's affecting his life. That is like affect everybody around his family, because they are looking, he's always sour in that thing. And but for some weird reason, he's still attached to it, so he never let it go. There is some sort of satisfaction that he feels when he's talking about it. And his job is to figure out what's going on, why he's feeling, why he's still attached to it, what's the kind of satisfaction he feels when he's talking about something that happened 50 years ago and he still learns. I'm saying that because where is our treasure? It's our mind. It's our thoughts, our feelings. If my uncle treasures this thing, he's going to be always connected to it. And that's a bad thing to be connected to. So it's very important to get this thing, but where are we connected to? He might have some reasons to do it, but it's not a good thing for him. Right? It's just suffering and suffering and suffering, and making the family around him suffer the same way. Maybe one more. This is a very good one. I like it. Correct are those who compare our mind to a mirror. We reflect the images around us and send towards others the images we create. And since we cannot escape from the principle of attraction, we only reflect clarity and beauty if we insert beauty and clarity in our inner life. So always sentiment is going to get in a good place, right? Only beauty and clarity. We have to be, I'm going to be a good mirror because I'm going to be reflecting a good place. This was very important for me because I read a book from Seixo years ago, 5 years ago, and they stand the same, very, very close to it. It was very close to it. Seixo, for those who don't know, it's a Japanese religion. It's original from Japan. And they have an image, I read it and I saw it and I never forgot it. I could never understand it. I was like for years. But that stuck in my mind until I found this from their list. And I saw, oh my God, this is exactly what the station guys are saying. It's the same thing that I thought about. That our mind is like a mirror. We have to keep it clean. We have to have beauty inside of us so we can reflect the beauty of the place where we are. So the truth is the only one, right? All religions kind of converge to the same things, the same truths. In material life, we normally we want to live in a nice place, in a clean place, a safe place. And our senses, we know it's a good place because our senses tell us we can see it, we can smell it, we can touch it. And but in the spiritual environment that we live, we don't have that unless we are a medium where we can see it, but most of us we are not. So we cannot see it. My point being, if we could see it, many times we would run away from the spiritual environment we are in, but we can't see it. We cannot see, we cannot smell, we cannot touch it. But there is a way we can see the spiritual environment where we are in, and then we can respond to it. If it's a good spiritual environment, we stay in it. If it's not, we do something to change. We do some mental hygiene, we clean up our minds, so that we can go to a better place. And the way for us to know it is like, ask yourself every time, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling to my mind, what I'm feeling, why is that, what's going on inside of it. We have to keep asking ourselves, what's going on in our minds. We have to think about what we think, as Anthony said. This way we are going to think, oh my God, I'm in a bad place right now. It's a dirty place. It's not a safe place. It smells bad. So let me get out of it, right? And then we're going to do something to improve it, get out of it, right? And one more from Emmanuel. In the laws created by him, it's written that every spirit reflects freely what he loves more, creating here and there light or darkness, in the happiness or pain in which his heart is immersed. So this is the laws created by him, by God. That all we are saying are the laws created by God. And every spirit reflects freely what he loves more. It's important. What we love more, what I like, what I want, what's attractive my attention. We're going to reflect freely that at all times. Right? And we're going to live there where we are. The last one. Kind of summarize everything. Your heart will always be where your treasure is. That's what Jesus Christ said, and that's what he said for the remainder of the night, for the whole night. Same thing as Jesus said, in one sentence. Right? And that's all. Thank you very much. Yes.